Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Marshall live, and in this video, I wanted to share a quick sales strategy with all of you coaches, all you speakers, all you trainers out there, you consultants who are selling stuff online. I've been working online for 10 years now. Since 2014, I've been selling offers online, digital products online, coaching, consulting, training online. And in 10 years, I think this is the simplest, fastest way to sell high ticket offers, bar none. Okay. And so I'm going to just lay it all out for you here in this video. Do me a favor. If you're watching this on replay, just if you support anything I do, give me a like or give me a love, like smash that real quick right now. Smash it, smash it, smash it. It helps get the video, the algorithm, it helps get the videos to the top of the algorithm, to the top of people's feeds. Because I know that when I started off in speaking and coaching and training, the one thing I was not very good at was selling. It was more probably like, I was just not very confident. I was insecure about my offers. I didn't know much about online. I felt like I was an imposter. And so for me showing up to sell, even though I really did believe I was really good at what I do, it was really tough. And so for a long time, I struggled as a coach because I didn't know how to find new leads. And then once I found them, I didn't know how to convert them into high paying clients. And so it was a struggle. All right. So I want to share this video for all of you who may be going through something like that right now. I want to give you guys some game. But before I do, I'm going to share a quick story with you guys of how I even thought to make this video today. I'm actually back in my hometown in Sterling, Illinois. So that's Sterling right there across the river. And this is the Rock River in Illinois. And I'm actually in this town right now called Rock Falls. And so if you look on a map, it's always Sterling Rock Falls, like Sterling/Rock Falls, Sterling Rock Falls, right? That's how it is. I'm from Sterling. The fact that I'm here in Rock Falls right now is kind of sacrilegious because everybody knows that Rock Falls people smell like a poop factory. Okay, I'm sorry. There's just the whatever waste management company is like the waste plant is here in Rock Falls. And so growing up, we were always talking shit. No pun intended, or maybe. Okay, so anyways, I'm here in the Sterling Rock Falls area. I'm back in town for a little bit, and I was walking down by this beautiful riverfront that they have here now, this river walk that never used to be here, and I'm looking at this band shell. All right, I see this band shell, and I see this seating and stuff, and you guys already know where my head's at. Like, I'm thinking event, right? I love events. I can't help it. Like, I just love events. I've always loved getting people together. I've always loved like productions and doing things. And I've always just like not wanted to go to somebody else's house to do it. So I always figured I'd just do it at my house. I'll just throw this party at my house, right? And so when I'm walking and I'm seeing this band shell, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, you know what would be gangster? It would be gangster if I hosted an event here and we did something for the community, right? We did something for mental health or something like that. That's just where my head goes. Like whenever I see an opportunity for an event, that's where my head goes. And that actually got me thinking about a video that I saw last night from one of my original mentors. Actually, the first course that I ever bought online was from this guy named Ty Lopez. And Ty Lopez was trying to tell me that you can go out and you can get local businesses to pay you $1,000 to $10,000 a month to manage their social media. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy. And so I started watching this guy and I was watching him. And literally I was just observing and modeling what he was doing online, selling programs and this and that. But anyways, I see Ty and he's making a video on Instagram last night. And the video is talking about, he's like, if you're 18 years old and you want to make $1 million, he's like, this is what you got to do. He's like, just start throwing parties at your house. He's like, throw parties at your house. He's like, this is how I launched, my first business. He's like, my nightclub. He's like, I was having UFC parties at my house and I was charging like $20, just to cover the pizza. And he's like, I would make like 50, $100 profit. And so what Ty was really saying is he's like, yo, if you want to learn how to make a bunch of money, what you got to get really good at is getting a bunch of people together. All right. Now I learned this from Steve Jobs and I teach it inside of my free community, Top Paid Speaker. If you haven't joined it yet, you should reach out to me. I'll send you a free link. It's over on School. And the thing that Steve Jobs said is he laid out this Apple's $1 trillion blueprint. Okay. Steve Jobs' $1 trillion blueprint. And part of, and it's not the first one, it's not the most important one, but one of the mechanisms in this $1 billion blueprint to building Apple was that Steve Jobs understood that he had to create an ideal buying environment. Okay. It's actually interesting. Steve Jobs' number one rule or number one pillar in the $1 billion blueprint actually was that he's in the business of creating new customers. That's a lesson in and of itself. Like he wasn't in the business of home computers. He wasn't in the business of this or that. Steve Jobs' number one rule was that he was in the business of acquiring new customers. That was the first rule, the first pillar of the blueprint. But I digress. Let's get back to the other one. He said, create an ideal buying environment. So when I stumbled across this $1 billion blueprint a few years ago, back in 2016, I was like, damn, like that's crazy, like ideal buying environment, because it made me think of these parties that I used to host back in the day when I was like in high school. And then when I dropped out of college 5 times, I used to host these parties called Marshall Palooza. And the reason I hosted them is I wanted to make money. And because I had a fake ID, what I was able to do was go to the liquor store, buy booze, buy kegs. I built a bar, like I built a bar out of plywood in this giant dining room, this empty house I was renting. And I used to have these Marshall Palooza parties and people would come and they would pay for booze and liquor and we'd make Jello shots and sell food and stuff. And I was like 19, like stacking like couple $100 a weekend hosting these parties. And so when I saw Ty saying that last night on Instagram, he's like, dude, if you want to make $1 million and you're 18, he's like, you start throwing parties at your house. And I'm like, motherfucker, that is true, bro. Marshall Paloozas used to make money. And then I would have that money to do whatever, like get gas, good food, buy my friends stuff, get us, tickets to Lake Ladonna or whatever we needed, right? Because having money is freedom. That's why I've always been so driven to go out and acquire it. And I've never wanted to wait around for somebody to pay me a check. I'm just like, oh, if I'm willing to go out work you guys and go do all this, then I can have more money. You know, my mentors are like, yeah, that's basically how it works. So I'm like, all right, well, fucking let's go. And so I think another total side note, I think that's like when I got into the speaking world and I realized how dependent your money and your success and the ability to share your message and story was on somebody else giving you permission or the opportunity to speak on their stage. I was like, that's fucking whack. Didn't make any sense to me. And so now here I am. I'm watching Ty last night. He's talking about this. I'm thinking about Marshall Palooza. I'm like, damn, yeah, that is working. And actually, this has been around for a long time. And what I mean by this is, I mean, gathering a group of people together and selling them something. So what I mean is like, you could even go as far back as 17th century Europe, right? And you had these people who are traveling around, they're selling elixirs, they're selling fucking potions and concoctions and whatever, right? Some ethical, some not, whatever. That's not the point of it. Point is, back in 17th century Europe, you had these people that are traveling around, and they're in town squares, and they're doing something to create an audience. They're painting, they're doing a vaudeville show, they're singing, dancing, puppets, like whatever it is. So now you have these people, these people that are going to public spaces, they're acting out, performing, entertaining, doing something to get people to gather and get attention, to gather a crowd, right? So now these people are getting a crowd. It's gathering, it's bigger. The more people that are gathered, the more people that come to see what's going on. And then in the middle of the show, the guy stops and he makes a promo for his elixir, let's call it. And so what I'm saying is that advertisers and marketers and sellers and people who have been, wanting to make money with a product or service have been doing this for a long time. And this means, hey, let's get everybody together for this one thing that we're all about. Hey, everybody come over here. Let's all gather around this one relatable thing that I'm doing in front of all of you guys. Come on, come over here. You understand? And then once you have everybody's attention all at once, and because you built trust and relatability and goodwill by entertaining, performing, sharing, telling the people like what it is, whatever the thing, the topic is that you're on, because you've already created that rapport and goodwill, now when you go to promote or to share something from stage, people are way more likely to buy it. People are way more likely to want that. Now, let me ask you this. I'm asking you seriously right now. I don't care if you're watching this live or on replay. Do you find yourself more likely to buy something expensive if you were on a phone call with just me and it was just me and you talking and you don't know anything about me, you just kind of see my content and I'm like, hey, let's get on this phone call. Let's get on this phone call and have a strategy session. Let's get on this phone call. I'm giving away this whole thing. It's completely free. There's no obligations. Like, are you more likely to buy something like that? Or are you more likely to buy something if I say, hey, yo, listen, Michelle. What's up, Michelle? If I say, hey, yo, listen, Michelle, this weekend or next weekend, I'm getting together a bunch of energy workers, a bunch of healers, a bunch of spiritual people. And what we're going to do is X, Y, and Z. And this thing that we're getting together to do, what I'm saying subliminally or subconsciously, This thing that we're getting together to do is going to make you better at that thing that you love doing and that you love sharing with people. And not only is it going to make you better at that thing that you love sharing and doing for people, it's going to be with a whole bunch of other people like you who love doing the same shit. Like, does that sound cool? Does that sound cool? Okay, Michelle. So what I want you to do is make sure you grab a ticket to my free thing, my free party, my free event, my free whatever. Okay. Now listen, if you guys are watching me right now on camera and every day I'm building a brand or I'm out here in the town square and I'm saying, oh, what's up? Hey, everybody. Well, this is my life. These are the problems. These are the good things. These are the bad, the ups and the downs. I am building trust with you right now. I have been speaking professionally for the last 8 years, you guys, and I've never been paid to show up to an event and speak on a stage. Why would I need to? I can enjoy my morning coffee, have prayer and gratitude and journaling by the river, and then I can go live on a virtual stage and build goodwill and trust. And I don't have to ask you for anything. I'm just sharing my journey, documenting it, letting you guys know what I'm going through, what I'm experiencing, and then what I'm learning and what has worked for me, and I'm giving it back to you. That's all this is. This is just me standing in a virtual band shell out here in social media world. That's it. So if you're a coach, a speaker, a consultant, a trainer, an author, if you're somebody who has or wants to have a high ticket offer to sell, what I have found the best way to sell that and convert that if you're not good at sales like I didn't used to be, which is how I accidentally found this system to sell people. It's just called selling one to many. Instead of one-to-one phone calls, it's called selling one to many. So now let's go back to this. If I get Michelle to this event and I'm doing it for 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, and it's like awesome. It's shifting her paradigm. It's opening her heart. It's showing her something that she forgot about or she didn't know about. And the energy's high and the emotion is high. And then I say, hey, you know what, Michelle? Some of you are going to feel called to go deeper on this message, on this mission. Some of you are going to feel called to spend some more time together. Some of you don't want to lose what we've built over the last 3 days. And I understand. So I want to give you an opportunity right now. Now, this opportunity is not going to be right for everybody. And if I'm being honest, this opportunity is probably not going to be right for most of you here. Okay. So you see what I'm doing? By using language, I'm showing you what I have, but taking it away. I'm like, oh man, this thing is great. But if I'm being honest, man, I don't know if it's for you. Like, you see what I'm saying? When you understand how to use language and frames and presuppositions, I can make the conversation in your head go any way I want. It's called framing. I'm framing it up. So now imagine that you have this virtual stage, this virtual band shell. You're out here just sharing your shit, building your life, becoming on a journey to truly becoming the best version of yourself you can possibly be. And you're documenting it from this virtual stage every day. Let's say once every 4 to 6 weeks, you have this event. It could be a virtual event, it could be an in-person event, whatever. You get this gathering of people together. Shit, you could call it a party. You could call it a happy hour, like whatever. You could get a bunch of people together around the topic that you're an expert in, your primary skill. Now listen, remember, you're not there to sell them something. Yeah, I'm gonna come here. I'm going to do, no. Invite them to come and say, this is what we're going to cover. This is what I want to teach you. This is what I want to give you. This is why I want to do it. We're going to do it with a bunch of people like us. Do you want to be with a bunch of people like us? Okay. And so if you were to host your own little virtual event every 4 to 6 weeks, and then at the end of that event, well, actually the whole event is a sales process from the very beginning until the very end, which is what I teach inside of Top Paid Speaker, which again, you guys, it's completely free. I used to charge thousands of dollars for this. Now inside of my new school group, it's 100% free for you to join. It's every single course I've ever made. It's a workshop on exactly how to use virtual events to scale your business to $10,000 and then to $30,000 to $100,000. And I do 4 calls a month. That's a weekly call every single month for you to get the help you need. Like, totally giving it away. I don't want anything from you. I just want you to, if you have a story, a message, and a mission that you want to give to the world, then you should be in Top Paid Speaker. I'll help you make money doing it, and I'll help you save people's lives and change them. So just reach out to me at growtoppayspeaker.com and do that. It's free. Let's link up. I want to help you. I don't want anything from you. Okay. I mean, honestly, it's like if you get in there and you get to one point, maybe you'll think, oh, damn, maybe this guy can help you make even more money. And so I guess my rationale is if I help you make $10,000 a month, which would be awesome because it would change your life and your family's life, which is the most important thing. If I can help you make $10,000 a month, then you'll have enough money to be in my other program. They'll teach you how to take it to $30,000 to $100,000 a month. And that's what I really want. And so I just want you guys to know that I think in 10 years of being online, the easiest, fastest, simplest way to sell high ticket offers is to host what I call conversion events. Some people call them enrollment events, but it's a conversion event. It's very simple. And it was awesome because, I don't have to be on a phone call with anybody. And in the beginning, when I wasn't confident in what I was selling and I wasn't a confident salesperson, I didn't want to get on phone calls with people just as much as they didn't want to get on them with me. And so I found this way. I've been using these virtual events since 2017. I'm telling you, your boy's the original virtual speaker. But since 2017, I've been using these workshops to do this, and I've been teaching people how to do the same exact thing. So take this information. If you have a high ticket offer, definitely take this, ditch the sales calls, build your social media brand as your virtual platform, and then once every 4 to 6 weeks, host a virtual event. Be 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. It can be free all the way up to $100. Doesn't matter. It can be more than that, but it doesn't usually work really well past $100. And I usually would never charge anything past $33 if I was going to charge for them. A lot of times they're free. But again, I'm not telling you anything that I'm not willing to share with you. It's literally all inside Top Day Speaker, um, my school group for free. Hey, Michelle, what's up, girl? Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. Thank you so much for hopping on. Say hi if you guys are live. We'll kill this feed now. But one last favor, if you are watching this on replay, do me a big favor and just give me a like, give me a love, leave me a comment below. Let me know if this information is valuable. Do you want me to make more videos like this? And what do you guys struggle with most? Is it branding? Is it sales? Is it marketing? Like, how can I truly help you build your business the most? I think having a virtual train, I think having a speaking and training business is the best business you can have, especially if you want to help people get better. Because when you're positioned as a speaker versus positioned as a coach or a consultant or a trainer or whatever, like when you're positioned as a speaker, people listen to you. It's more authoritative. Literally, that's the first thing I teach my people. I'm like, yo, if you want to be a speaker, start telling people you're a speaker. Well, I'm not a speaker. I've never done it before. I'm a personal branding coach. Okay. So tell people you're a speaker. Well, what am I going to say when they say, what do I speak about? You're telling me speak about personal branding, dummy. What the fuck do you think you tell them about? Whatever the primary skill is that you have right now, whatever your primary skill is, that's what you tell people you speak on. Because if you're making videos on social media, if you're making reels, if you're writing, creating podcasts, it doesn't matter. You are speaking your truth. You are speaking your stories to the world. And now we have so many mediums to speak that sometimes that shit's written in audio and video and whatever. And so it's not unethical for you to say that you're a speaker. So if you want to get paid to speak, then don't wait to book a stage. That's dumb. Make your own stages. Host your own events. Oh my God, it's so simple. You can even do it virtually now. Come on, you guys. If you want to sell more of your shit, you're like, well, Marshall, nobody knows who I am. Great. Nobody knows who you are. So why don't you take why don't you take 4 to 6 weeks and use social media in a strategy where you're leveraging and ethically stealing other people's audiences? Why don't you do something for the next 4 to 6 weeks and build goodwill around this experience that you're creating and bust onto the scene? And then when everybody shows up at one time, you can do your thing, right? And people be like, damn, who's Marshall Gillen? They're like, I didn't know about this motherfucker. And I'm like, yeah, but you do now. And that's exactly what I'm saying. That's why it doesn't matter if you don't have a following. It doesn't matter if nobody knows you. Like, this is the way I've launched every single client's high ticket coaching program every single time. We launch it with a signature event, and then we dial in that signature event over and over and over until it's perfected. And then you just show up every day. You run your signature every day, once a month, and you run your signature event, and it changes people's lives, and it makes you a whole bunch of money. But y'all are still trying to sell on the phone. It's so wild. You guys are doing a million fucking things all the time. I can't tell you. If a lot of you watching this, you know, I'll be seeing your names. Somebody in my network will be like, hey, do you want this free thing with AI? Do you want this free thing with this? Do you want this free thing with that? You guys are trying to learn consulting and podcasting and like all this shit, dude. Just pick one fucking lane and stick in it. I'm telling you from experience that the best lane, I think, for people like me who are got the gift of gab and the energy to be in front of people, I think the best business model that you can start is a speaking and training model. That's it. It's super simple. You guys, I'm going to give you guys my high ticket offer and then I'm going to hop off. This is it. And I'm giving this to you guys because you guys can literally steal this. Some of you guys are like, well, I know, Marshall, but what are you actually selling? What are they actually getting with their high ticket offer? Great. Glad you asked. So when you join I have one offer. Well, it's a hybrid offer, but it's, high access, high touch. I don't need a whole bunch of fucking moving parts in my life. That's too complicated. You guys know I'm on a mission. My goal is $100,000 a month, monthly recurring revenue. So that means $100,000 recurring every month, right? My goal is 100K MRR by, it was like 11 months. So I think it's June 5th, right, of 2025. All I need is 67 people in the world to pay me to be a member to learn how to build a 7-figure speaking business. Okay. With that in mind, excuse me, I want you to think about whatever it is that you sell. Okay. Now I know that if you spend 12 months with me, I mean, I could do it in 3 months, but it's not, bro. It's the rate of success at 3 months is so low. So few of the people I've worked with over the 60 out of the 1,600 people. And I'm telling you guys this for you guys too. 90 days is just not fucking long enough, you guys. And you fucking know it. And you're scared to sell this thing because you're like, oh, nobody's going to buy it. That's bullshit. If you can't give me 12 months of your life to try to master the number one high income skill in the world, which is being able to speak to sell, if you can't give me 12 months, then you aren't serious about the skill because you can't master speaking to sell and selling one to many in fucking 90 days or 6 months. And I would bet that you can't so your ideal client can't master whatever it is that you teach and train on in 90 days either. Can a very select few of them get some excellent results? Yes. But you're lying to me if you're saying that the overwhelming majority of your clients get results in whatever it is that you do in 90 days because they don't. So first things first, hybrid offer, 12 months. This is important because the market doesn't buy like it used to. The market doesn't buy high ticket offers like they used to. I used to be able to sling paid in full high ticket offers, 25, 36, 50 grand. And yes, they're still out there, but by and large, my ideal client is not going to come out of pocket for $36,000 right off the bat. That client is not as in existence as it used to be. Okay. So now to all you higher level people who go, Marshall, they're definitely out there. Bro, I know, but that's not what I know. But if this this video is not for you, 2, this message is not to you, and 3, to you, the high level people, just sidebar. The reason I don't do that is because although I love money and I love people who move fast, there's something about my heart that calls me back to my people every single time. And I don't mean this to sound bad. It's not disparaging, but there's a book in the Bible. Well, there's a story of a character in the Bible, Saul, who becomes Paul. And some of you guys know that. I'm not a Christian or I'm not a theologian or religious or anything like that. I just love stories. So this parable in the Bible is, Saul becomes Paul, and he actually is the first person to start to teach, the way of Jesus to the Gentiles, right? Like up until this point, like, like the Messiah, I think is Judaism is what's called, like the ones that think that Jesus is the Messiah, that sector of it, like you had to be Jewish, right, to be able to practice that. And then it was like, okay, well, maybe first generation people. And then eventually it was like, okay, well, even second generation people. And so why I'm saying this to all of you higher level people is I just feel called to preach to my people these days. There's too many people out here struggling, fucking barely getting by. And I have a buddy that runs a window cleaning business here. He has been doing it for over a decade, makes good money, right? Like, did you know you could fucking start a window cleaning business in your hometown? Did you know that? Well, if you didn't, I have a guy and he knows how to do it. And I want to teach that guy how to teach that shit online. Like, that's why I'm coming back to these people. And so to all of you that are listening back to our conversation, your high ticket offer, in my experience, depending on who you're going to serve, which is, I guess, if I was serving a real high level client, which I do, I have an offer for a VIP day. You pay $25,000. You fly to me and we spend 6 hours together, right? So I have an offer in place for that. But what I'm saying is my core offer, and I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here. I want you guys to steal this and use it for your stuff. That's why I'm going into such context and depth. For my high ticket offer, it's over 12 months. The reason that I do it like that for 12 months is, one, is I know I need 12 months with you, and 2, then it gives me a longer time for you to be able to pay the payment. So if I charge $20,000 for my inner circle and I have it broken up into 52 weekly payments, well, then basically for $375 a week, you can join my inner circle. It's $1,500 a month. But let me ask you this, and this is not a sales pitch. I'm just asking you because I want you guys to be in the frame of mind that your ideal buyer is in. Is it right now, would it be easier for you to pay $1,500 a month to a coaching program that you needed? Or would it be easier to pay $375 a week to a coaching program you needed? for most of my coaching career in the beginning, it was much easier to do weekly payments because I had payments coming in at different times. I was closing things, launching things, yada, yada. So in the beginning, what I needed, like, I'm not going to do a payment plan for fucking VIP day. You kidding me? You want me to fly out there, you put $5,000 down, you wire me the other $20,000 before I come. You guys should steal that too. VIP days is a very valuable offer to have in your back pocket. But this 12-month offer, now I can stretch that payment over 52 weeks, which makes it more accessible to everybody else. We call it a pay-as-you-profit model. Pay-as-you-profit model. And what you get when you get inside my inner circle is access to me. So you get a one-on-one call every single month. Write this down, you guys. Steal this and implement it. Depending on the price of your program and what you want to offer, you can do I have found you can do a monthly well, you can do a weekly one-on-one, but that's like high ticket shit. I also have a version for that. It's called Elite. I'm not going to get into that today though. So your core offer, which is my hybrid offer, and I call it hybrid because it consists of one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and in-person masterminds. So when you join my inner circle, 12 months, here's what you're going to get. First off, you're going to get access to my system, to the curriculum, like the actual step-by-step videos of exactly what you need to do, right? So if you haven't even recorded your process on a course yet, I'm not telling you to drop a course. That's not what I'm saying. But you do need to have your shit recorded as a course. And I can tell you guys how to do that. One thing I think I'm going to start testing though is I think I'm going to start do a members only podcast. And I think that this is what Russell Brunson's teaching. It's like, instead of having just a course, make your course a podcast. A lot of people need to be able to listen to it on the go, which I think is interesting. So anyways, when you join my high ticket offer, which is a hybrid offer, you get the curriculum, you get a monthly one-on-one 30-minute call with me, right? Obviously. We do a weekly coaching call for everybody to hop on, ask questions, connect. And then we do three-day in-person masterminds. That's the crux of what the whole thing is. You guys don't need to jam these things packed full with every fucking thing in the whole world, dude. Your client just wants the result. If you need to jam pack with 100 fucking things to get them the result, then okay, but I would probably say you need to simplify your process. Most of you are making this too hard. Just being honest. So lastly, let's end this video with this. If you have something high ticket and you want to sell it, I believe the best way to do that is by positioning your personal brand as a speaker brand, using social media content creation like this to build the know, like, and trust factor. And I would suggest that once every 4 to 6 weeks, you host a conversion event. You give away your entire process. You teach everybody about it. You connect people. You give them a chance to be heard, to talk, to be heard. And then during that conversion event, you invite them into your high ticket offer, which I just laid out how I would structure it if I were you. Simplest, fastest way to make money online, selling high ticket offers. Be a friend, tell a friend, share this with somebody, let them know what's up. I love you guys. TopPaySpeaker.com. If you guys want to join the community for free, we have a phone call every Wednesday morning. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you.